Hello, good afternoon. We are Diego and Iván, and in this video, we're going to show the code that was developed for the activity of microcontrollers module. That is the wireless communication for the tag reader. Well, first of all, we're going to start as always with our configuration bits for our PIC. In this case, we're using again the PIC 16F877A. So we have all these configuration bits. There are more than the PIC 84, to put an example. Then we're going to include our useful libraries that we may use in the development of the code. And then after that, we're going to define our frequency of our crystal. That is 20 megahertz. And then after that, we're going to define our pins that we're going to use for example, the serial LCD, the enable pin of the serial LCD, this out also of the serial LCD. This is another pin that is defined in the code that was given by the professor, but in this case we're not using that. And then we have the activation, that is pin RD2, in which we have our push button that is going to be like the thing that is going to activate our functions. Then after that, these are only the definition of the bits that use the serial LCD display. And here we have some delays, some values of delays that we may use in the code. Well, after that, the next step is to define the global variables. In this case, we're going to define the status byte. And well, we are going to prepare like all the variables, the global variables as it says here, in order to make our system work. First, our first function is going to be the init ports, in which we have a personalized definition of the port C according to these ones that we have defined here. And we have defined it as inputs and outputs. And we are only defining pin RD2 as one because it's an input that is going to be the signal of the push button. Then in the next function, we have the configuration of the USART feature. Now here, it's very useful to use the datasheet in order to understand what we are doing. For example, here, going to the datasheet of the PIC, we go to this chapter that is addressable universal synchronous asynchronous receiver transmitter, that is the USART. And here we have some things that we are using in the code. For example, this one that we're defining as 0 is the we're selecting the low speed serial communication according to the baud. So here is this one, the high baud rate select bit, and we are defining it as low speed. Then, for example, we have the sync that is going to indicate if our system is synchronous or asynchronous. In this case, we are using the asynchronous mode, so we are defining it as 0. Then TX9, that is we're going to select 0 because we are working with 8-bit transmission. Then we have here this option that was indicated by the professor in order to say that we are using the 20 megahertz crystal. Then this pen, it's going to be this one. We're going to enable our port, our serial port, that is here also commented. On RX9, we're also having our 8-bit pronounced reception. And this final thing is here, that is this, and we're going to select continuous receive enable bit. And in this case, what we are doing is enabling that reception mode. Then here we have a little function in order only to prepare, to clear the transmitter flag and load the chart that we are charging here in order to be ready for transmitting information. So this is for letting the information being transmitted. Well, that's all from my part, and then my partner will continue explaining the code.
Well, hello there. I'm going to explain the next part of the code. my partner explained until the line 76. So the next part is the function that will will activate the transmission of the messages on the LCD serial port. And with this char AC, these functions activate the transmitter flag and also clear them. The next function it's going to check the flag and the registers, and will check the signal that the card, in this case the square ones or the circle ones, when we pass to the signal module. And with this, it's going to receive the code of the card, of the ID. And then the next section will reset the bits, and we'll start again to receive some other signal. The interrupts, it's like a simple interrupts mod section part, and it will count the seconds to check the card. In this case, when we press the push button, it's going to give a time lapse to activate the reading part of in the peak, and it will restart pass when 5 seconds pass. And the next part, it's going to send the message, the serial message, the text message to the LCD display. It's just the syntaxis, and here's the main function that will start the ports, the configure USART to the 2400 baud. This is the frequency that the information will be read it and write it. And the next part is just the activation of the push button, and we'll read the card signal, depending of what type of card we are reading. And that will be all from the team. Thank you.